with Steve. Once again, my friend.
Did anyone ever suggest surgery?
Yeah, 2 doctors.
Why did you decide against it?
Because I went to the LeBron James of feet, and he told me I shouldn't.
Did any?
I'm not done. Nah, I'm not doing that.
Are you going to need surgery on this after this season?
I don't know. Right now, I don't need it, so we'll see what happens. I'll probably get another MRI at the end of the season, and go from there. But if I end up having to get surgery after the season, you guys won't know. I don't talk to you guys in the off season, and by the time next season starts, I'll be fine. I'll be ready to go.
What country is the LeBron James' feet based on?
Huh?
What country is
I don't know. I have no idea.
The LeBron James of feet. The LeBron James of feet. This is Sports Bucks with Steve. Welcome once again to Sports Bucks with Steve on our YouTube channel. We appreciate all the subscribers. We want to thank all of our sponsors, Fig Wealth Partners, Ford Insurance Group, My Virtual Docs. We want to thank Grill Effect, which is a new sponsor that's been brought on. And you know what? Let's play a quick little video showing you guys some food. So if you're in the greater U.S. or in the Atlanta area, we've got a new sponsors to be able to share with you. And check out Grill Effects. That's Grill Effect. That's Grill Effect. GrillEffectBBQ.com. GrillEffectBBQ.com. On one of our latest new sponsors. Just want to show you guys. And also, welcome again to the show. This won't be a really long show today. This is just more about going back and talking about what LeBron talks about. There seems to be this new thing, though. And I'm going to go ahead and blow my whistle because you guys are may not be familiar who's watching the show. This is Wealth Coach Steve, the retirement wealth coach, certified financial fiduciary, MBA, best-selling author, co-best-selling author of The Success Formula with Jack Canfield. I'm just here to talk a little bit about, today's show is that LeBron says he went to the foot doctor. There's been some concepts and some theories about the Lakers and their ability to get fouls. And some folks are saying that the Lakers are getting the benefit of the whistle. Some teams, and somebody shared a stat that had 300 more fouls have been called for the Lakers. It was just kind of an amazing stat. Now, I've been a Laker fan growing up between my days of loving the Bulls and Michael Jordan because he played at Carolina. I've always I had a team. It'll probably be the Lakers. I guess I like the big brands. I'm just, one of those people. I've been a fan of the Cowboys since I was knee high. And I've liked the Lakers. I like with Magic there. I was a big fan of Dr. J. So if it wasn't rooting for Dr. J, I was rooting for Magic. And so if it wasn't the Lakers, it was the Bulls. It was Michael Jordan. And then when Jordan retired, I still kind of cared a little bit about Chicago, but it became more about, okay, what the Lakers doing, right? When they brought in Kobe and Shaq. And so I been a fan and supporting them over the years and was very happy that they won. Like more players than teams, though, when it comes to the NBA. So it's always been more about a player, where with the team in the NFL, it's more about, okay, I'm a Cowboy fan, right? And that's just kind of been the way it is. And I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel basketball fan. But foot doctor. LeBron went to the feet doctor of sports, the LeBron foot doctor. There's this thing that I want to say that it seems to be going on. And he used a little bit of humor with it, but it feels like there is a emphasis now on guys calling themselves the best ever. And I've seen this with LeBron, who seems to be the guy that starts stuff, and he was there. And so I watched this with LeBron James, and I'm noticing that LeBron James was doing some things, and so I noticed that he kind of said LeBron James was talking about, him being the greatest of all times at one point when he felt like when the Cleveland Cavaliers, that was my daughter. So, you get these interruptions that happen in life and in sports. It is what it is. She wants ice cream. And so LeBron James was claiming he was the greatest when Kyrie Irving hit the big shot and the Cavs came back and beat the Warriors. But, whatever in terms of that. But then he's now saying the foot doctor and that of LeBron James, the feet. And then somebody said, well, why you go see the Michael Jordan, the foot doctor? You would have got a better doctor or the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But I saw something with Joel Embiid, and I want to. This is a flag on the play, and this is early on in the show, a flag on the play, because I just feel like what happened to the humility that these guys are simply just not they're just not demonstrating anymore. Like, so it's like, so I just want to blow flag on the play. That's my little whistle. I'm gonna blow it again just in case you guys didn't hear it. It's a matter of what is going on. Why are these guys so? Let everybody else talk about your greatness. Let everybody else cheer for you, right? Let everybody else blow the whistle. So I'm gonna blow the whistle on the I'm the greatest, and it's like disrespect to the legends that have played before you. Like, how are you saying you're the greatest? I talked about it on my radio show. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50.4 points a game with 25 rebounds one time in the season. Nobody will ever do that. Wilt Chamberlain went constantly against the Boston Celtics, who were a loaded basketball team with 8 to 9 Hall of Famers that played with Bill Russell. But Wilt was pretty much by himself with maybe another Hall of Famer. So, but nobody is calling him the greatest of all time. He doesn't even get mentioned a lot of times in these conversations. And so I am just curious to why is it that when Wilt Chamberlain loses against 8 or 9 Hall of Famers, because he only won 2 championships, but he has video game numbers. Why is he not in the discussion? But LeBron, who loses against stacked teams with his stacked team, but some of you folks out here calling him the greatest of all time. He now says he's the foot doctor. So when I go in, not only with LeBron though, and so that logic doesn't make any sense. LeBron has never led the league. He led the league in scoring once. He's now the all-time leading scorer. He's played 20 years, right? And so the three-point shot has also helped him. Kareem never shot a three. He hit 1 3-point shot in his career. So there's this newness and this modern thinking that everything is greater, everybody's better today, and that's simply not true. And so this claim that like Joel Embiid said that he was the greatest. Now he's the most skilled and the greatest, most dominant player. Joel Embiid, can you get to the NBA Finals? Now he allegedly is saying this, but can you get to the NBA Finals at least? Can you win a championship? The level of me, look at me and talk about me, it's just getting silly. I mean, it's how are you saying you're this? Did you not hear about Wilt Chamberlain? Did you? And you think you're more dominant than Shaq? This, like I said, I'm seeing this guy's. Draymond Green came out and said he's the greatest defender ever. Where? At what point was he the greatest defender? Draymond Green couldn't guard Joel Embiid. He can't guard LeBron. He couldn't guard Kobe Bryant. What are we talking about? So Dennis Rodman or Scottie Pippen is arguably the greatest defender, and you can go with Bill Russell. Those are probably the 3 greatest defenders. Michael Jordan is right there at the 2-guard position. Those are some of the greatest defenders. And then there's people like Mookie Blaylock. There's Tony Allen. There's so many other host of guys. Dikembe Mutombo. There's all these other guys that were great defenders, on-ball defenders. Gary Payton was known as the glove for a reason. But Draymond Green feels he's the greatest defender of all time. It's like, you guys, like, this modernism is driving me crazy. And I want to prove a point. This is a video I'm going to share with you guys that talks about Larry Brown, a legendary coach, coached at Carolina, won a college championship, I believe, at Kansas, and also took the Sixers to the NBA Finals, where they won a game against a legendary Lakers team led by Shaq and Kobe, who lost one game in that playoffs to Larry Brown's Allen Iverson-led 76ers, who had Allen Iverson and Dikembe Mutombo, to name a few, on that team. Eric Snow was the other guard. Not exactly loaded roster that Allen Iverson took to the finals, and he won a game against an all-time great Lakers team. This is one of the greatest things. So this is the other thing that I try to figure out with this modernism and modern man today. By that notion, by their logic, the Golden State Warriors that won the championship last year are the greatest team in NBA history. Who's saying that? Was that the greatest team in NBA history? Because modernism is saying that today's players, each generation, each season essentially is better. But we're talking about Steph Curry, the greatest shooter the game has ever seen, top 2 3-point guard of all time, a top 10 all-time player, changed the game, who's won 4 championships. He played with Klay Thompson, who was 70% of Klay last season. And Mr. Triple Single himself, Draymond Green. That 3 was greater than the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, the Magic and the Showtime Lakers with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and James Worthy, Big Game James, Hall of Famers. The Boston Celtics, led by the great Larry Bird, cold-blooded. That team, you would say now is greater because you got caught up on modernism. Well, let's take a listen to what happened when a 43-year-old retired Wilt Chamberlain went to UCLA to play against Magic Johnson and a team of all-stars that were playing at the gym. Magic got a team that he had Bernard King, he had James Worthy, and I don't think you guys realize how good Bernard King was. He had, but listen to what Larry Brown had to say.
I'll tell you a Magic story. Coach at UCLA, and he used to come to the men's gym and organize games.
I remember
And
there were a lot of pickup games back then.
all the time, and he used to make the sides and stack them. So one night I'm watching, and Wilt Chamberlain's playing with 4 of my freshmen against Magic, Bernard King, James Worthy, Byron Scott, and Green.
AC Green.
AC Green.
Huh?
And it's game point. Magic throws a sky hook. Wilt blocks it. Magic calls game. And Wilt says, that wasn't goaltended. That was a clean block. And Magic took the ball. He said, game over, next. And Wilt said, hey, coach, was that goaltended? And I said, no, that was a clean block. Magic says, what do you think he's going to say? They're his kids. And Wilt says, all right, look, we're going to play a game till 12. We'll do it again. Winner stays, and there'll be no more shots made at this basket. He blocked every shot. 43 years old. He was blocking everything. It was unbelievable.
So, somebody used to play in those 80s games, who I asked who's the best player you ever played with or against, told me it was about a 50-year-old Wilt Chamberlain at those UCLA pickup games. He was that kind of physical presence.
Everybody always points to Michael and making all these changes or things, but Wilt Chamberlain was the first one that really made changes. He was the first dominant person of basketball.
Wilt, there will never be anybody like they always say that about Michael. They always say that about other players, but there will never, ever be another Wilt Chamberlain.
You have played every season for you.
Yes, it has. It's been a learning experience, but I enjoy challenges, and it's a challenge tonight to see what I can do.
There it is. It's over, and the most valuable player is Magic Johnson. 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. Starts in center, plays forward and guard, and leads the Los Angeles Lakers to a World Championship over Philadelphia. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
So Magic had won an NBA championship with perhaps the most iconic performance. Wilt Chamberlain again was 43. And Magic, and he played with 4 college players as teammates and beat Magic and a team of a combined 28 All-Star appearances and 14 rings when their playing days were done. This is the legendary Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, one of the greatest players to ever play the game. And I'll give you my top 5 before we go to I'm not really going to go to break. I'm so used to doing my radio show, I go to breaks. But I'm going to share you my top 5 all time. Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James are my top 5 players. That's what I got. Magic is probably 6. Larry Legend is 7. Then after that, we start to Shaquille O'Neal. It's probably 8. Then I'm going to probably go with, I guess I would go with Tim Duncan, and probably Steph Curry. And then I would go with Olajuwon and the great Bill Russell. I didn't see Bill Russell play, and I know he won 11 championships, but it was an era that had 8 teams, and he wasn't the dominant scorer every night for the Celtics. He played his role as defender and rebounder, but he wasn't the force of a Wilt Chamberlain. He wasn't the force of a Michael Jordan or the force of offensive force like Kobe and some folks like that. So let's see what I want to play real quick. I'll play my
Are you looking for today's best
So, yeah.
virtual healthcare solutions? Then look no further than myvirtualdocs.com.
This is by
now,
MyVirtual
get
Docs.
Unlimited virtual and urgent care, unlimited mental health, a free pharmacy program that covers medications like diabetes and more, plus a wellness app that pays you to work out. That's myvirtualdocs.com. It's affordable for organizations and their families. Let our network of experienced medical professionals put your health care over big profits. That's myvirtualdocs.com. Healthcare whenever, wherever.
Also by
After the
Fig Wealth
2008 Wall
Partners.
Street crash, everyone thought this won't happen again anytime soon, right? Then 2020 happened. Protecting your money is more important than ever, and the uncertainty of when the next bank crisis will happen has put people on edge, especially if you're planning for retirement. That's why you need to talk to the experts at Fig Wealth Partners right away. There's a reason Fig is called the Retirement Wealth Company. You get strategic guidance from experienced financial professionals like Fig Managing Partner and Amazon best-selling author of The Retirement Wealth Coach, Stephen L. Crawford. Now, the first 10 people to call and book an appointment will receive a copy of the movie The Baby Boomer Dilemma, made by economists, industry experts, and a Nobel Prize winner. Call 980-216-8487. That's 980-216-8487. And find us online at figwealthpartners.com.
Yeah, so that's Sports Bucks. That's figwealthpartners.com. Fig Wealth. You can also go to Ford Insurance Group. It's our new sponsor. We're going to thank Real Effects. As we talk about this a little more, we get a little deeper into this game, a little bit more into the conversations that we're having again. So, when we talk about Irving Magic Johnson, it's another story that goes on about Irving Magic Johnson and his thoughts. But there's something else I did want to share with you guys before we get ready to get out of here. And I am trying to see if I can find it. Where is that thing? So, well, I won't talk about that today. I don't have time for that. But I did want to share the Irving Magic Johnson story. Not just his story, but just sort of the mindset of levels to this thing. There's levels to this game. There's levels to what you do. And make sure that you do it the best way you can. Fig Wealth Partners is here to help. We also have Ford Insurance Group and a few others, Tax Doctor and a few other, some of our sponsors, Grill Effect, BBQ.com. So this is Sports Bucks with Steve. Check out this little story that we want to talk about with Irving Magic Johnson and Maverick Carter discussing business, man, at a whole nother level. Check this out, y'all.
Well, like I got to teach everybody. Okay, when I was at this level, yeah, I could deal with you. But I'm not at that level no more. See, I went here, Then I went here. Now I'm here. So the deals gotta be here.
They gotta match.
And no, I'm not hating. Everybody don't be mad at me when I say no, but the deals gotta be here. The same amount of time it takes to make $1 million is the same amount of time to make $100 million.
Of course. Every deal takes time from you. That's right. You getting on the phone, calling people. Exactly. So it might as well be a deal that's going to make you $100 million, not $1 million.
Ooh, we just taught you guys something.
So what do you get from that as we get ready to get out of here? What do you get from that? And I will give this as sort of some advice that I give out. Listen, don't spend too much time with things that are not profitable, right? It doesn't mean you can't help people. And I've had to learn that lesson when we were dealing and trying to be an answer for everybody and trying to be a solution for a lot of people when it comes to the financial planning and what I do in my day-to-day with that, in that walk. And so people would ask me questions about, well, how much money do I need? Or what's the minimum? And I would always ask the question, what is your minimum? When you say, what is your minimum? What is that? What are you trying to accomplish, right? What is it that you're trying to do with your money? And what is the end goal for you? So if you say, I want to do a minimum amount, then don't expect a maximum return. You know, you put in minimal effort, expect minimal return. So that's what words I got for y'all. You know, this is Sports Bucks with Steve. We'll be having our Cowboys check-in show with Love coming up. We'll have another one coming up with my man Jersey Gene coming up. And my daughters will probably try to enter the scene again. I have to send it away. But this is Sports Bucks. I told you guys it wouldn't be long. This is a shorter version of what we tend to do. But all we need to do sometime is drop a little bit of nuggets, man. This is Sports Bucks with Steve. We want to thank all of our sponsors, everybody that tunes in, Grill Effect, EFECT, BBQ.com, Fig Wealth Partners, FigWealthPartners.com, FordInsuranceGroup.com, Tax Doctor, 800-663-5107, 1-800-663-5107. We want to thank My Virtual Docs. They have a great mental health program that includes no copays. No copays, y'all. Just pay your monthly membership. It also includes 605 generic medications, plus a deal with Walmart. So it's a pretty good opportunity for folks that are looking for mental wellness consultations without having to worry about copays. It's virtual, of course, or getting a free pharmacy program that can be delivered in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico. This is Sports Bucks with Steve. This is a retirement wealth coach, best-selling author. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to Sports Bucks on YouTube. Also, do not forget to check out Sports Bucks with Steve every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific on KCAA Radio. So check it out. It is now available. That show, which is different from this one, is also available on all of the major podcasts, including Amazon Music. We just got added to Amazon and all the other big platforms. This is Sports Bucks. We'll see you next week. We'll see you in a few days. Who knows? But we'll see you. Peace.